factory method, class creational, intent and motivation. Intent means what are all needs you can create using subclasses. We create the abstraction of particular classes, define an interface for creating an object, but let subclasses decide which class to instantiate. Which class to instantiate, that will be determined by the subclass instantiations. Factory method lets a class differ instantiation to subclasses. Motivation framework use abstract classes to define and maintain relationship between objects. Framework has to create object as well, must instantiate class, but only knows about abstract classes which it cannot instantiate. Abstract classes cannot instantiate this motivation, that framework, but intent is going to be instantiate subclasses only. Motivation, factory method encapsulates knowledge of which subclass to create, moves this knowledge out of the framework, as known as virtual constructor. Only knows, virtual constructor knows only which class is going to, which class instantiation is going to be initiate in that particular method. That will be instances, class instances going to be encapsulate, but it will dynamically call and then produce the output. Factory method motivation here, document or that applications class, document class, then my application class is there. Now here document star document equal to create document, that means instance is called doc. Doc dot add doc, so doc is going to be open. So document having create document, then using the create document we have to open the particular document. So inherit class create a instance, that instance going to be call, going to be point particular operations in document class. Next one is applicability. Use the factory method pattern when a class cannot anticipate the class of objects it must create. A class wants to subclass to specify the object it creates. Classes delegates responsibility to one of several helpers subclasses, and you want to localize the knowledge of which helper subclass is that delegate. Factory method structure. So product, create factory method and operation. So creator is a class, factory method and an operation is a method for the particular creator. So concrete creator means you can implement or inherit the concrete creator class, in that having factory method. So return new concrete product, here factory method is going to be written. So which method is going to be get the output of abstraction of this particular process. Next one is participants, product, concrete product, creator, all participants. So defines the interface of object, factory method creates. Concrete product implements the product interface. Next one is declare the factory method, which returns objects of that particular type of product. May contain a default implementation of the factory method. Creator realize on its subclass to define the factory method so that it returns an instance of the appropriate concrete product. So these three participants going to be execute that particular structure. What are all the needs of process perform in that particular structure, that will be implemented by that particular inherited class or a subclass. Next one is factory method differs object instantiation to subclass, eliminates binding of an application specific classes, connects parallel class hierarchy. A related pattern is abstract factory. Here product going to be inherit, that means subclass concrete product. Creator going to be inherit, that is subclass. config creator. So Chartkit is going to be connected to return new config product. So factory method 2 also the same thing, create manipulator or connectors. So here inherit different way. All the classes are going to be produce output in different methods, bounds manipulator, auth manipulator, attach figure, like that. Different outputs going to be extract, that is called the essential information, hiding particular data, creating class definition from DCDs, that means creating class definitions. It is a general creation of class, programming oriented, like a Java programming. Public class, class name, private integer quantity, private product description, that is class variable. Sales line item is a function, product description, DESC comma integer quantity, that means runtime will produce the input of that argument, money get subtotal, finally provide the output. So creating methods from interaction diagrams. For example, register, enter the item or item identity, item ID and the quantity. The description of the particular item and then ID, product catalog, it will be inserted in that. After, get item ID in that map products. After, the registrar going to be make a line item to that particular product to the sale, create the description of that particular product and then quantity in sale line item. After, line item is going to be added in that particular items. Totally get the subtotal of particular total line of items. So these are all the execution of registered enter item. This diagram is well known. It is a type of sequence diagram. So this is the main function is going to be done in the particular sales line item. Product description and then catalog.product description in parameters ID, the current sale make line item description comma quantity. So that will be a continuously, when the user customer purchasing continuously means it will be update continuously. Finally get the total of overall